Ah yes, collecting. One of the finest hobbies of the 21st century. People honestly collect all sorts of things. Like, from video games to plush toys to even merchandise. But today's video, we're going to be talking about a very interesting collector's item, or rather, a series, or one item in particular that is quite niche in the collecting scene, and honestly deserves this kind of video. Today, we're going to be talking about an item called the Jazzman. In 2001, a company called Kuang Dyi, also known as Fang Dyi, released an item called the Jazzman, which, description-wise, it was a dancing, singing jazz figure that was kind of a mix of the 30s and the mix of the early 2000s, with dancing, singing animatronic items being popular in the late 90s and the early 2000s due to Jemmy's success on the Billy Bass. The Jazzman was of course no exception, as the Jazzman was actually quite a popular thing back in the early 2000s. The Jazzman can usually be found on eBay for higher than its original intended price, usually through the $30 through $80 range. But the site where the Jazzman originally sold, being a site called Home and Kitchen, which this is the description of the Jazzman from their website. Press the button on his base and the suave Jazzman goes into action. This Afro-American saxophonist bends up and down while he plays a jazzy tune. He stands 17 inches tall and requires 4 AA batteries not included. Believe it or not, there's actually a review and rating on Amazon from a user that dates to 2015, meaning that the Jazzman was actually being produced up until that point, which is honestly surprising for a 20-year-old item made in 2001. The copyright of the Jazzman goes as follows. As showed on the United States Copyright Office, the public catalog for the Jazzman. The production of the Jazzman, or execution, was started on December 13th of 2001, but didn't get its certification to be produced until January 15th, 2002. But it was mostly believed that the Jazzman actually started producing in 2001. Distribution rights for the Jazzman went to a company called L&D Trading, which later distribution rights would go to a company called Dolly Dolls and Toys Factory, also known as PTM Holdings. The Jazzman kind of has some differences in item numbers from earlier and later models. Most of the earlier and OG versions of the Jazzman feature the item number 3346M, but later versions would feature the item number 3347, believe that those were produced in 2002, because of their cheaper quality and their overall more similar look to a similar company that was making their version of the Jazzman. It is to be believed that Kuang Dyi actually allowed Master Toys and Novelties, a similar company as I mentioned, to make their own version of the Jazzman. It is also believed that these companies work together in the same factories. The actual registration number for the Jazzman is VAU 526-783, which is interesting because some Jazzman boxes actually feature that particular sticker along with L&D Trading on the box. I've also weirdly noticed that some boxes of the Jazzman feature the first OG item number on the front, but others show it on the back, as well as the later item numbers. I'm not sure if this was intended by the company to differentiate regions of where it was distributed to. I don't know. It just seemed kind of weird to me that I've definitely noticed some odd things going on with some item numbers. One thing I did not mention previously is what song is programmed into the item. Let me have this video demonstrate to you what this item plays. In 1999, a smooth jazz artist named Dave Koz released an album called The Dance. The Dance is the 5th studio album Dave Koz released along with Capitol Records on September 28, which featuring a list of songs, one that we recognize quite well. This song is called Surrender. It is also likely believed that Kuang Dyi outsourced the audio to a third-party Chinese IC company. Believed that that's why the audio was chosen and put on the item of the Jazzman. That being said, Kuang Dyi is also known for making other Jazzman related items, such as the Action Santa, as well as the Rock and Roll Guitarist. Also, which feature stolen audios, which Kuang Dyi is apparently accustomed to taking audios from other companies and using them in their items, or modifying the audios slightly to vary from the company's audio to hopefully not get copyright striked. But in the case of Surrender, that unfortunately fell through, as in 2003, Kuang Dyi ended up being sued by Capitol Records, Dave Koz's record company, for an unspecified amount of money. It is undecided how the court case managed to end, but I'm pretty sure Kuang Dyi lost a lot of money, hence why Kuang Dyi doesn't really make stuff anymore, obviously. Another factor that I believe led to Kuang Dyi's lawsuit also began with most likely the first OG version of the Jazzman. Believe it or not, the version of the Jazzman you see on screen is believed to be the first version that was made of the Jazzman. And on the bottom of the box, it literally just says, "Play Surrender." So yeah, I'm pretty sure Kuang Dyi just dug their own grave there at that point. And now you know the undiscovered lore of the Jazzman, I'm going to show you the different variations of the Jazzman there are. The Jazzman variations that we are going to first talk about is the skin color variants. There are, in fact, only 3 skin color variants of the Jazzman in the standard black tuxedo outfit, that being the African American, Caucasian, and Latino, as well as the same exact skin colors in a red and black tuxedo outfit. After that, we have the different head variations. There is what we affectionately call it the bulgy eye Jazzman, or more so the box art Jazzman. This can be found in the standard black tuxedo outfit, red jacket tuxedo outfit, and the white tuxedo outfit. And now, to round off our final head variant of the Jazzman, we have the, what I call it, the Scatman head Jazzman, with a completely different box design from the regular Kuang Dyi standard, which is quite interesting. The last version of the Jazzman that I would like to discuss is one that was actually quite recently discovered. This version is actually a Jazzman with the standard black suit, but with a cover of Surrender. Believed that this most likely might have been, if I'm speculating correctly, the post-lawsuit version of the Jazzman. They most likely changed some notes to try and avoid copyright. I'm not even sure where this version came from, but it's most likely a European or international exclusive version. As you can see above you, these are the comparisons between the original board and the cover board. You can see that the code on the board CO9-3346 is in a different font. And now we will talk about how the Jazzman has had a reaction from the general public and how popular in general the Jazzman has become. Of the Jazzman, there are absolutely tons and tons of videos on YouTube. If you just scroll, if you just type in the Jazzman or the Jazzman toy or whatnot, you can look up on YouTube, and there's absolutely just tons of videos of it. So clearly a lot of people managed to grab one when it was popular. Some of the videos you'll see on YouTube are of jazz players or jazzmen, but they are bootlegs, in fact. But that is another topic for another video. As I mentioned earlier in this video about collectors, yes, I am one of them, and I have quite a lot in my current collection. But yes, that basically about wraps up the entire video essay on the Jazzman. If you want to comment down below and have more information on what other ones you have in your personal possession, or if you have any more information, please tell me in the comment section, as well as like and subscribe. But yeah, this is Trainman476, signing off.